Yo, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy Dan, aka aDrive, bringing you guys the GBA semifinals. The St. Louis Rampardos taking on Coach YoFizz Stardust and the Atlanta Hawluchas, the #1 seed in his division, I believe. And we are down to the final 4 teams, me, Fizz, and then George and Mulvone or Andrew, and I'm really excited, guys. Regardless of how this match turns out, I think we should all be pretty proud of how we performed this season. We were one of the worst ranked teams coming out of the draft. I made some changes through some free agency. We picked up some different Pokemon, and we were able to narrowly make our way into the playoffs, win our first match in the playoffs, and here we are in the final 4. So definitely nothing to be disappointed about. But I really want to go to another championship, and that's my goal. My goal is to win. But I was kind of looking back at some of my other matches, especially my UCL Little Cup matches, and I realized that in those matches I care so little and I just have so fun with it, and I'm gonna try to have fun, a little bit more fun, and play a little bit more aggressive, and kind of play the game I play, but just try not to stress myself out so much over it so much, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, I want to win, I want to take it seriously. I put a lot of time and preparation on this team, guys. I probably spent about 5 or 6 hours preparing for this team. I know it sounds nuts, but it's the truth. But regardless of all that, man, it is what it is, right? The Pokemon is a game that is really fun to play competitively, but there's factors about the game that make it so it's not the most competitive game in the world when there's so many different factors that kind of pull in through luck and so much else, and just matchup in general, right? And I think Fizz is a phenomenal battler. I think I consider myself to be a pretty good battler, and I think on any given day either one of us could win. So I'm looking forward to this match. This is going to be a really good, nice test of my skill, I guess. And after getting beaten last time, I definitely want to come back and try to knock them out of the playoffs here and make it to another championship. So we'll see what happens, man. But if you missed the pregame press conference, check it out on the screen on the annotation, of course, or just go through my videos. You'll find it. I kind of go through my team pretty in depth, and you might want to check that out before you watch this video. So feel free to pause and go do that. Last but not least, or second to last but not least, definitely check out Fizz's channel as well. His channel link is in the description. He makes a lot of really cool Wi-Fi battle commentaries, especially his GBA stuff. I personally love his commentaries. They're very laid back, very chill. Post commentary. He's got a really funny way to narrate, and I actually really enjoy it. So maybe you guys will too. So definitely give him a shot, and obviously he's very good at battling and team building too. Anyway, we do have a question of the day today. If you didn't hear, spoilers, Pokemon Sun and Moon was officially announced to be coming out in the, holidays of 2016. What would you guys like? And leave a comment down below to share your thoughts. I do read them. Let me know what you guys would like, ways to change the competitive scene. What changes would you make to competitive Pokemon to make it more competitive, more fun, whatever it might be? Obviously, a new generation, new game means there's probably going to be new Pokemon, which could mix things up. So, are there any particular megas you want to see? Do you want things like Stealth Rock to be nerfed? Do you want like a physical type Assault Vest? Things like that are kind of the ideas I'm looking at. So, let me know what you guys are thinking. Maybe we'll put them all together into a video or something. I'll make like a speculation video or whatever, or ways to make competitive better. But that's going to be that. So, let me connect to Mr. Fizz Stardust here, and hopefully we'll be able to come out with a W. So, I'll see you guys in a moment. All right, guys, we have connected, me and Fizz, and this is going to be a match hopefully for the century, man. Hopefully people are going to be hyped about this one. I think this is going to be a great matchup here. I think Fizz has a phenomenal team. One of the best teams I've ever seen in a draft league format, in my opinion, but we're going to find out what he's going to bring here. And he brings pretty much the same team, but no Starmie. Rather, he brings Chestnut instead. Very interesting, which means he does not have hazard control, which means I might be able to just set up my Stealth Rocks right off the bat here. Now, he might be predicting that and try something fancy, but let me just kind of look through my team here and see what I have for Chestnut, because that could be problematic, especially if it's like a Subseed set. Could be like a Belly Drum set. I mean, I guess Sylveon is not too shabby. I do believe that Chestnut... Oh, you know what? He might be trying to stack some spikes on me here. But I think Chestnut does get Poison Jab. I just want to double check that really quick. I do believe it does. I do just want to make a confirmation on its moveset here. I'm pretty sure it gets Poison Jab. It does get Poison Jab. Okay, so I just wanted to double check that. But we're going to have to pick our lead here. So this is a tough spot here. I want to pick the best lead that we could possibly do. I mean, Victini handles Chestnut, so I guess we have that going for us. And that's one less Starmie switch in, or Victini switch in. Okay, so... potential leads on his end could be that Tyranitar or the Charizard. I think it's those two, or if he brings Stealth Rock Garchomp. So I gotta make a choice here really quickly. If he leads Tyranitar, my best lead is definitely Aggron. If he leads, Charizard, then I have to switch. I think I gotta go to Aggron here. I really want to get my rocks up, and I think that we can put ourselves in a pretty good spot against the, a couple different things here. He might lead with his Chestnut, but I think that Aggron is our best Pokemon to lead with here. for a number of different reasons. I could taunt and keep him from setting up his own stealth rocks, and so on and so forth. We actually do not outspeed Chestnut, though, under any conditions, but we do pretty much, like, we could take any hits from him, no problem. So we're waiting for Fizz to pick his team here. I picked mine, so let me just check, like, Adamant. Yeah, I could definitely take hits from, you know, an Adamant, you know, Chestnut if I need to. So anyway, let's figure out what he's going to do here. I'm thinking he's going to leave with the T-Tar. If he leaves with the Charizard, I'm going to have to go into my, I'm definitely going to have to switch into my Salamence, but I kind of want to see if I can keep him from getting rocks up right away, because that's one of the things he really, really likes to do. Here's his Dylan, which is his Charizard. So I really wanted to predict that. I did not. I really wanted to predict that, but it just wasn't. Man, that's tough, man. That's a little tough. I definitely wanted to try to get the advantage here at the lead. I definitely cannot stand. He knows I cannot stand. I have to 1,000,000% go into Earhart here. I don't have any other options, unfortunately. I cannot lose aggro on the first turn. There's no other options. I have to go into Salamence here. I have to reveal that I'm specially defensive. I really wanted to leave Victini, and if I did, that would have been awesome, because I could have Bolt Striked or U-Turn, but I have to go into Salamence here. That's going to allow him to freely Mega Evolve and get the Sun Up, which is definitely unfortunate for me on both accounts. He is going to obviously Mega Evolve here, and he's probably going to go for the Fire Blast or something like that, and I might be able to gauge whether this thing is at least timid or modest or something like that. If he misses the Fire Blast, that would be absolutely wonderful, but he is going to go for the Fire Blast. He misses it, which is amazing, because that allows me to not let him know what set I am. He has absolutely zero idea what set I am now, which is really, really good. So sorry, Fizz, that you missed. I do feel bad, but I'll take it. I'll take the little bit of luck there at the beginning. I needed it, because I already messed up. I'm just gonna be honest. No, so let's see. I can live in HP Ice here, and I can Stone Edge and knock this thing out. I don't think he's gonna risk his Charizard right off the bat. I really don't. But I also am kind of in a situation where it's very, very little risk, like really, really low risk here for me to just click Stone Edge. In all honesty, the problem is if he switches into T-Tar, then I'm in a little bit of a tough spot. I kind of want to double into Aggron here, predicting him to either 1 HP Ice. He's not gonna Fire Blast again. He's got to switch. I'm gonna make the switch into Aggron here, which is a very, very risky play, because if you Fire Blast him in a lot of trouble. But he's not gonna he's not gonna let me set up on him, and I Oko him, and it's a speed tie if he thinks I'm offensive. So I'm gonna make the switch into Aggron here. He is gonna switch out, so that's very, very good. So he doesn't know what Salamence that I am, which is absolutely wonderful. Here comes Blizz Cliz, which is his Weezing, and this is the matchup I wanted. I actually did want to have this matchup between Aggron and Weezing, as I should outspeed the Weezing unless he speed crept me in some ridiculous fashion here. We should outspeed the Weezing without any issues, and I could freely go for a, here, let me just fix this. We got Iron Head and Avalanche. I could freely go for a Taunt here to stop this thing. So I'm gonna Mega Evolve, I'm gonna go for the Taunt, and that should allow me to get up Stealth Rocks for free here, which he will not have any options for. He's probably gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp here. If he goes back into Charizard, that's fine. He's gonna stay in, so I'm gonna get this Taunt off, and we should be able to stop this Weezing from doing anything, unless he's got the Flamethrower. But I can hopefully stop him from setting up or burning me or whatever. So the Taunt comes out, so we do get that off. So we know that we can stop the Weezing if he doesn't have any moves to hit us. He cannot use Toxic Spikes, so we're gonna lock him out of his Toxic Spikes here right off the bat. And that is wonderful. Now I could just go for my Stealth Rocks here, which is gonna do 50% to that Charizard on the switch-in. It's also gonna wear down a lot of his team, and we know that Mega Aggron here should be able to stop his Weezing 100%. I do think his switch into Charizard here is very, very likely. I don't carry a rock move. I actually don't have much to hit Charizard Y, to be perfectly honest. But it's all good. I have some other options here. I can go into Salamence. If he's not carrying the HP Ice, we'll be in decent shape against that thing. And realistically, I don't think he can risk going for HP Ice against Aggron anyway. And again, Mens can live it. That's a very risky prediction, though. Very, very risky prediction. But I don't believe, unless he's got the Flamethrower, which he could have, and it would be Sun boosted, it would probably do about 40%. So that's not out of the question. It is very, very possible that he could potentially go for the you know, the Flamethrower here. So we're gonna find out. But I'm going for Stealth Rocks. I think getting those rocks up is super important. It's 50% off the Charizard and all sorts of stuff. So definitely want to try to wear his team down as we can. He might have been a little caught off guard there by the Taunt. I did speed creep him. I put a lot of speed in my Aggron. He might be thinking I'm offensive as well, just based on my speed investment. I had to put 100 EVs into my speed to make that work. So we did get really, really lucky on that first Fire Blast miss. It's an 85% accurate move. With all the Toxics I've missed this season, hey, what are you gonna do? But that is huge because it allows me to continue to bluff my Salamence as being offensive, which based on the complexity of my team, it does look like Salamence could be offensive. I'm gonna go for the Stealth Rocks here. He does stay in. He could be carrying the Flamethrower, and we're gonna find out what he's got here. He does have the Fire Blast, so he was prepared to take on Aggron with his Weezing here. He's gonna hit me with a Fire Blast. It's gonna do over half to me, which means I do have to switch out now, unfortunately. But this is a really good opportunity for me to go into my Victini, I think, because I know I can take a Fire Blast, then I can just simply go for V-Create or U-Turn. Because he doesn't want to take a Psychic type move. So I'm going to go into my Victini here. He might predict that, but I think that's my best play. I want to save my Aggron. I need it to be as full as health as possible. But good play on Fizz's part, carrying the Fire Blast this time, which might mean he actually doesn't have much for Sylveon. But either way, I'm going to go to my Victini here, and I'm going to probably U-turn on the next turn unless he stays in. If he switches then... If he switches into T-Tar here, that would just be a really good prediction. So I'm going to go into Victini here to take the Fire Blast. I don't think he's going to go for Sludge Bomb or anything. He's going to switch. He might potentially go into T-Tar, predicting my Victini switch, which would be just, yeah, so he does make that prediction. He's just going to go straight into his Tyranitar and make the Victini prediction here. So I actually could, here's the thing. If I want to be, so Tyranitar might just prioritize Stealth Rocks here, which is kind of the problem. I do have the ability to go for a Brick Break here. And with that Brick Break, I actually do 2-hit KO. And if he's not physically defensive, if he's like an offensive-ish set, you know, I have a chance to OHKO him here with Brick Break if he's specially defensive. So I am actually gonna go for that Brick Break, just because if he were to try to, he's got the Chople Berry, so we see the Chople Berry again. So not too surprising. We barely do any damage to him. That's probably going to reveal that we're Scarfed. He might just go, he is going to go for the Pursuit here, so not the worst case in the world. I know I can live that no problem. And we saw Pursuit on the T-Tar. We know it doesn't have an item anymore because I broke its Chople Berry. And I can actually Brick Break again here if I really want to, and potentially knock out his T-Tar. I think he's going to save this thing though. I really do think he's going to save it because he's going to want to get that Sand back up later. He's going to want to do a lot of different things. So I think it is in my best interest to switch here, but what do we switch into? Let me see. I don't want him to get Rocks Up, though. I 100% do not want him to get Rocks Up, but is it too risky for me to risk him getting Rocks Up? Because he could also get T-Spikes up, too, if I let him go into Weezing here. I think I just need to Brick Break. I think I need to take the safe play here, because if I switch and he Pursuits, I lose Victini. If I switch and he Stealth Rocks, he gets Stealth Rocks up. And I don't want to try to defog them away. If yeah, like, he could easily go into his Weezing here. He could easily go into his Weezing, and I lose the momentum I had. I lose a lot of the momentum I had. This is a tough decision. I'm locked into Brick Break, so Weezing is a very obvious switch here for him. I think he's going to save it. I really feel like he's going to save it. I think I'm going to go into Megatron here. I think that's my play, to try to catch that Weezing. Because without the Sun, he's not going to really be able to do too much to me. Or I'm going to Tesla now, too. Tesla's not a terrible idea. I actually kind of like going in Tesla because I could just Volt Switch. I'm going to make the switch into Tesla here. I feel like he's going to switch. If he stays in Pursuits, man, he just made a great play. Like, he really did. Did he stay? Oh, he didn't stay in, I don't think. So I went to Tesla. He might just go for Stealth Rocks here. He switched. Perfect. So that was great. That was very, very good that he switched. He goes into Blizzcliz, which is what? The Weezing. That's fine with me. So now I've got Jolteon versus Weezing. And T-Bolt is a 2-hit KO at this point in time, especially at the range he's at. I really do feel like T-Bolt is my best play here. If he wants to predict something, that's fine. He could get his T-Spikes up or something like that. But I think if I just go for either the Volt Switch, if I go for the Volt Switch, how much will that do against the standard Weezing? Does about 40 to 48%. About a 2-hit KO. I could Volt Switch into Victini here, and then I get to freely click V-Create on something, which is awesome. It's kind of what I want. I don't want him setting up T-Spikes, but I also don't want him going into Garchomp here either. I want to keep the offensive pressure up on this thing. I really do. I'm going to go for the T-Bolt. I think I could live a hit from the Weezing either way. and I don't want him to set up on us or go up. If he sets up the T-Spikes, it's not the end of the world. I'll have to trade T-Spikes for whatever. We're going to do a good amount of damage to him. He is going to go for the Pain Split here, which is going to take a lot of our health back, but it does still put him in range of what I believe to be a kill here with the T-Bolt. So I believe we can actually just knock him out with the T-Bolt here. And if he wants to make the prediction and go into Garchomp, then that's up to him. He can easily do that if he wanted to, but I don't think that's a smart play. I think I could just T-Bolt again. I think the T-Bolt is the safest play here. If he goes into Garchomp, he goes into Garchomp. I'll switch out and deal with it. I've got Quagsire. I've got a couple options. I'm going to go for the T-Bolt again. I don't want to over-predict, and I don't want to allow this thing to set up on me. If he goes into the Garchomp, I'm going to assume Scarfed, and it'll be fine. I'll switch into Quagsire or something like that, as he does have his Chestnut, so Quagsire is not as important. But I want to keep the pressure up on him. I want to keep firing off, offensive moves. And if I have a chance to knock out one of his walls like this Weezing, that's one less thing in the way. So he is going to switch here. Not too surprising. We did see Pain Split, so we've almost seen his whole set. He's going to go into his Chestnut. So we're going to find out a little bit about what kind of Chestnut this is. I'll go for the T-Bolt. I'm sure it's not going to do too much. It did a little bit. Let me kind of just calc that. It did. He's lefties, so we know he's lefties. So it's leftovers. We know Weezing is Black Sludge, I believe. The T-Tar was Chople, but it's gone now. Let me take a look at that Jolteon versus the Chestnut. My Thunderbolt should have done about 21%. If he's definitely got a lot of attack HP investment. So I'm gonna make the switch here. I think that he might go for the Poison Jab here, predicting my Sylveon. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised about that if he did that. I'm actually thinking that is going to be the play he makes. To be perfectly honest, I think he's going to go for the Hyper Voice does kill, and if he goes for Poison Jab, I can easily take that unless he's offensive invested. If he's like max attack, then his Poison Jab is going to be a little bit more offensive. But I'm going to go for the Volt Switch here because there's really no reason not to. I do get the Volt Switch off. I think he's going to did a decent amount. I think he's gonna want a Poison Jab. I really do. Really do. I don't think it's worth bringing Aggron in. I think Aggron still has some use. I can't go into Herbert. I could go into Earhart, but Earhart can't do much back to this thing. And all I do is get an Intimidate off, really. Whereas if I go into Sylveon, then I get to fire off a Hyper Voice. And I don't believe Weezing wants to take 2 Hyper Voices at this point. So I'm going to make the play into Sylveon, fully aware that the Poison Jab could be coming. Very possible that he's going to go for Poison Jab here. In fact, I think that is going to be his play. He's going to go for the Leech Seed, so a little bit different, but that's fine with me. So he's going to go for Leech Seed. So I feel like he's going to... Let me think. Can I 2-hit KO the Weezing at this point in time with my Sylveon? Weezing going to come in. It's going to take Stealth Rocks. Hyper Voice is like 27 to 32. It's going to be close whether or not I could 2-hit KO the Weezing. I think after Rocks we'll do it, but I'm just a little bit worried that he's going to be able to kind of get some more momentum here. So I'm thinking about making the swap into V-Drive here, which could result in me catching a big, I think I got to go to Victini here. I'm going to make the play into Victini. Because even if he Poison Jabbed, I might be able to take it depending on the spread. And it gives us a lot of offensive momentum. I think he might just Spiky Shield potentially, or he's just going to switch. Victini gives me an opportunity to switch out. I can just click V-Create. I am going to switch, which means that he stays in. So he might have either Spiky Shielded or attacked. So we're going to find out here in a second. He does go for the Spiky Shield, so we see 2 of his moves. We see the Spiky Shield. And now I get to click V-Create, I believe. Now we get to click V-Create, and something is not going to want to take it. The only thing that's going to take it is the Garchomp, really. The advantage he has is he gets the Spiky Shield and know what my next move is going to be. That is the advantage he gets here. And the problem with that is he could potentially really wear me down here. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to go back into my Sylveon. I'm going to double back into Sylveon here, predicting him to Spiky Shield again and get rid of the Leech Seed. I like that idea. That was my play. That was the play. Because he's going to Spiky Shield. He is going to Spiky Shield, so we read that nicely. Okay, so now I'm in a spot where he doesn't know my Sylveon is, aside from the fact that it's got leftovers. He does see that, but I could still be offensive too, you know what I mean? So he doesn't really know how offensive I am. So I think our play here is just to click Hyper Voice, really. There's really no reason for me not to click Hyper Voice at this point. Absolutely zero reason for me not to. Weezing comes in, it's going to take rocks damage, does not want to take 2 Hyper Voices. I did speed creep. Helios can't take it. Charizard could come in here, but simultaneously I still have my Salamence switch in. He could easily go into Charizard, but I did carry Hidden Power Rock last time, and he could be fearing that. Plus, Charizard's taking 50% from rocks. Don't forget that too. So that means he's going to be forced to roost, as he does not have any way to get rid of the hazards, which is very, very nice. So we're putting on some good pressure here. Sylveon versus Charizard Y. It's probably not going to do too much. Charizard Y is just really bulky. I really don't think this is going to do a lot of damage. 20 to 25%. Could be a potential 2 KO. He's going to Spiky Shield here, so he wants to know what our move is going to be. My play was just Hyper Voice here. No sense in over-predicting. I do believe he is going to make the switch here, though, into Charizard. I could potentially try to set up a Wish and pass it to Aggron. A little bit risky, though. I do think my best play is just to go super offensive here with the Hyper Voice and just try to break down something, you know. If Charizard comes in, we force him to roost, and that allows me to go into my Mence. It allows me to go into my Victini. It gives me a few different options, really. And if Victini comes in, then I could just click V-Create. In the sun, Victini actually kills Charizard, so we'll see what he's going to do here. Definitely go for the Hyper Voice here, though, as I believe I'm going to 2-hit KO the Weezing. The Garchomp does not want to come in. The Helios does not want to take the hit. Tyranitar does not want to take the hit. He's going to switch out. He's got to go into Charizard. He does go into Charizard. So Charizard's going to take 50% here, plus the Hyper Voice. So he does have the right HP set up. And I just go for the Hyper Voice here. This could potentially be a 2-hit KO, depending on the roll. It's very, very close. I don't think it will be. It's close, but not quite. So now, I think what I gotta do, guys, I think I gotta make a really aggressive play into Victini here. And it's a very, very risky one, but I do think it's the right one. So, Fire Blast is a chance to kill Victini at the range it's at. I'm at 95 out of 175. Let me calc this. 95 out of 175. I'm at 54%. The Victini is going to take max 55.4%, 46.8 at the lowest. I feel like he's got to go for the roost here. I really do. I think my play is to go into V-Drive and just click V-Create. The sun's up. I'm going to speed tie with him if he's timid, and that is a chance I'm willing to take. I'm going to scare him out because he could think I'm Scarfed as well. I think he probably realizes I'm Banded at this point in time. But I'm going to make the play into Victini here, and I'm just going to click V-Create on something, and I want to knock something out. If he goes to the Roost, that's the best case scenario. He actually goes for the Flare Blitz here, so he's mixed Char, which was designed to take on Sylveon. We are going to live that barely. He's going to take recoil damage and bring himself all the way down, and we might actually be able to pick up a kill here in a second. We're putting a lot of pressure on this Charizard. He's got Flare Blitz as well. I've seen him run mixed Charizard before, so I'm not that surprised. I wonder if my U-turn would kill at this range. U-turn does 11.7%. I don't think U-turn is going to kill. I don't think I can go for Bolt Strike either. I have to go for V-Create. The problem is, if he goes into... Yeah, the problem is if he goes into Garchomp, I like automatically die unless he's got Sand Veil. I think my play is just to go... Oh man, that U-turn damage looks so appealing right now. It looks so appealing. He might have... Oh, dude, it's 9.8 to 11.7. What am I at? I'm 21. We're like at the same. 21 out of 175. I'm at 12. I can't risk it. I can't risk the U-turn here. He looks like he's right around the same HP as me. Brick Break will kill, though. Brick Break does kill. I just don't want to take Rocky Helmet damage from the T-Tar, because that would be kind of a bummer if I took Rocky Helmet damage from the T-Tar, to be perfectly honest. What is my best thing to hit the Garchomp if he's offensive? Because he could be Sand Veil. I don't know if he will be, but I doubt it. I mean, V-Create is gonna do 50%. I'm gonna click V-Create. I do outspeed. I don't know if that was a speed tie or not, but Victini is gonna kill the Charizard. So Victini kills Charizard with V-Create. Brick Break might have been the better play there, because here's the reason why. Because now now I get trapped by Tyranitar. I get fully trapped by T-Tar. My V-Create does about 31 to 37%. I don't know where the T-Tar was, though. I think the T-Tar was still above half. So he gets to go into T-Tar, and he can, just spilled water on my keyboard. He can trap my Victini now, which is definitely a bummer, because I need Victini. But at least we got rid of the Charizard. But if he goes into, T-Tar here, that was a little bit of a misplay. I probably should have went for the Brick Break, in all honesty. I should have went for the Brick Break, because then I keep him from going into T-Tar again. But now, I mean, you know, I don't know where that T-Tar was sitting. I think the T-Tar is going to live the hit, though. Because if last time he had the Chople and the Chople Berry, I think he, like, took that hit pretty good. Like, my Brick Break did, like, 35 to 40%. Yeah, so he's still sitting at almost full here. So, either way, though, we got rid of the Charizards. So that's one thing down. I would love to keep my Victini alive somehow, though. Because it could really beat a lot of things in his team. It really, really could. But you know what? If T-Tar comes out, I go into Sylveon, and Sylveon puts a lot of pressure on with Hyper Voice at this point too. Defensive Sylveon. Weezing is not a switch in either. So with Sylveon still, as long as Sylveon's still healthy, we're not in a terrible, terrible spot. And I guess the T-Tar, yeah, so here comes the T-Tar. It is going to be sitting actually just above half after the stealth, like just below half. That's a damage roll, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like. Dude, that's close, man. So the V-Create roll is 31.5 to 37. He looks like he's probably in that range. I think we just click V-Create, man. I don't want him to get up Stealth Rocks for free. I don't want him to Pursuit Trap me. I'm going to go for V-Create here, and if it kills him, it kills him. I knew I'd outspeed because he's bulky. And it just barely lives on the tiniest sliver. I hope he went for Pursuit. He goes for Stealth Rocks, so he makes the right play, actually, by going for Stealth Rocks there. Because now he definitely outspeeds me, and I cannot switch out. He's going to be able to Pursuit Trap me in. So, very, very good play on his part. I'm going to V-Create again, but he's going to be able to kill me. He's going to outspeed me at this point. I cannot switch because he can simply Pursuit. The only... Yeah, there's no way I'm going to outspeed him at this point. Because I believe I actually... if I go to half speed, I'm at actually 83. Actually, you know what? We could outspeed him. He's going to go for the Protect here, which is going to mean we're going to die to sand damage, isn't it? We might have actually outsped him now that I realize it. We're going to die to sand damage. We live on 1. Oh, man. Are we going to outspeed him? I'm going to go for V-Create again. I'm not going to chance anything, but we saw the Protect. We saw Stealth Rocks. We saw Protect. We are on 1. We are living on 1, baby. We're going to get the V-Create off. Yo, Victini, you absolute legend. Victini kills Tyranitar with V-Create. And Victini, the captain, picking up 2 kills, picking up the T-Tar kill and the Charizard kill. Now, of course, the sand is going to likely knock us out here. So Victini dies to sandstorm damage. But now we're in a decent spot, man. We're not in the worst spot in the world. Let's see here. He's got his sand up. I don't want him to get those T-spikes up. I really don't. Let me think here. His Chestnut is pretty likely. I'm thinking it could be the Chestnut. Could be the Weezing too. Could be the Weezing coming in here. And if it's the Weezing, he's going to want a Pain Split against Bella, which I don't want. If he goes into Heliolisk, I know I could take any hit and I could click, you know, whatever. I could click Hyper Voice. I just don't want a Pain Split against me. You know what, though? If he Pain Splits, I'll go into Megatron. So you know what? I'm going to go with Bella here. I'm going to go into Bella. I think that is our best play. Let me make some notes here that I got rid of the Charizard, though, because that is a big deal. And the T-Tar. So his weather is going to be gone here soon. Who did he go into? He went to Chestnut. He went into Chestnut, which is great. That's actually probably best case scenario. Or one of the better case scenarios. Because I can get rid of this weather here. We actually have a chance to Ocom here, depending on a spread. Max HP, fully defensive. Chestnut actually dies to Hyper Voice here, so I think I clicked Hyper Voice. I hope I did. I didn't really look that fast, or I looked quickly. So let's see how this goes, man. I think we can beat this Chestnut, though. And he can't go into Weezing. Weezing gets 2-hit KO, I think, at this range from Hyper Voice, so he can't get a free switch into Weezing. And I have Quagsire still, which can take a hit from the Garchomp. I have Mence, which can intimidate if I need to. Really, this game is going to come down to Sylveon, I feel like. I need Sylveon to really hold it down. And if he doesn't have Poison Jab on this Chestnut, that is going to be huge. I don't know if this Hyper Voice is going to kill. This is going to be a damage roll. I need this Sylveon to hang in there. And I want to calc to, like, Scarf. Scarf Garchomp too. Like if he Scarf Garchomp and he has like Iron Tail, how much is that gonna do? Because I'm pretty sure it gets Iron Head or Iron Tail. One of the two, right? We should be able to live either. We should live both. Iron Tail, yeah, we live both. We have to be at around 65% to be comfortable. But we live both, and we actually have a chance to OHKO the Garchomp too, even though we're defensive. Alright, we are in a very decent spot right now. We're in a very decent spot. He's gonna switch here, so we are gonna get a free Hyper Voice off on something. It is likely to be, yeah, it's gonna be the Weezing. Weezing's gonna come in, it's gonna take Stealth Rocks. It might take Sandstorm as well to nullify. This Hyper Voice should be a 2-hit KO, and we should outspeed the Weezing as well. That is going to easily be a 2-hit KO. Now, I just want to double check my speeds on you know. So Aggron was sitting at 83 speed. Sylveon is also sitting at 83 speed. So I know 100% we can outspeed this thing, and I could just click Hyper Voice again. And that is my play. I'm gonna click Hyper Voice again, and hopefully we should be able to knock out the Weezing without a problem. The Heliolisk is less of a threat now because the Heliolisk does not have the Sun. So Sylveon kills Weezing with Hyper Voice, and Weezing goes down. And now it's looking more and more like Sylveon here is gonna be the key to victory. Now I need to look at Sylveon versus Heliolisk, like Life Orb Heliolisk, because that's what I'm thinking he's gonna be. He does about 30% max with 35% max, 45% max with Hyper Voice. I could Wish Protect on the Heliolisk. In fact, I could Wish Protect on anything at this point. So I think if Heliolisk comes in, my play is to Wish. If Garchomp comes in, my play is to Hyper Voice. If Chestnut comes in, my play is to Hyper Voice. The reason why I'm going to Wish on the Heliolisk is because I know I can take a Thunderbolt, I know I can take a Hyper Voice, assuming he's Life Orb. And I want to make sure that I'm able to take those moves. Let me just make sure that Heliolisk doesn't get anything crazy that I would need to worry about. Yeah, Grass Knot, Thunderbolts, Hyper Voice, Volt Switch. I don't think it's getting anything. It does get HP Poison, obviously. So here is the Heliolisk. It gets Toxic too. Okay, so my play here is to go for the Toxic. I'm sorry, the Wish. It's to go for the Wish. Take the hit. I know I can live the hit, and then I can Hyper Voice the next turn. I just want to see how much my attack does to him. I'm 2-hit KOing him. Part of me feels like I should switch into Jolteon here and just sack it off. But at the same time, I have a lot of momentum here. I think my play is to Wish, because he even if he's Life Orb, he's not gonna be able to 2-hit KO me after lefties. Let me just calc Modest too. I don't think he'd be Modest, probably timid, but yeah, I could definitely take the hits. I'm gonna go for Wish here. He's gonna go for the Hyper Voice. I should be able to live this. It should do less than half. It does do less than half. He does show the Life Orb here. I went for the Wish, which means I am gonna be able to fire off a Hyper Voice in this next turn. And actually, after he takes the next Life Orb recoil turn, I might be able to knock him out. Now, he's got a tough play here to make because I could potentially make a switch into my Aggron here to heal it up. I'm not going to. My play is to Hyper Voice. And I could Wish Protect on him all day. So I'm gonna Hyper Voice. He's gonna Hyper Voice again. Assuming no crit, I live this no problem. We do live it on 49, which means we're gonna get our Wish back. We're gonna fire off a Hyper Voice here, and this might actually be able to knock out the Heliolisk. It's gonna be close, I don't think so. It does not, but it gets us in a range where I can Wish on the next turn now, and then I can Protect on the following turn, and make sure that I'm at as much health as possible against this Heliolisk. We are gonna Wish though, that is definitely our play. Our play is 100% Wish here. Because I can easily take the hits from him. I'm gonna Wish, I'll Protect, get the Wish back, and then I'm gonna Wish one more time. I have really no reason to attack this thing. And if he wants to switch here, that's fine. He's gonna go for the Volt Switch here, so I'm gonna get my Wish off again, which is fine. He does a lot to me. He lives, but he dies on the next entry with Stealth Rocks. So Heliolisk dies the next time it comes in. And I went for Wish, so I'm gonna get my health back. So good play on his part going for the Volt Switch. Definitely the right play there. Here comes the Garchomp. Now, this thing could be SD Chomp. It could be. It could very well be SD Chomp. And that would be problematic. It would be so problematic. I could go into Aggron here. I could Protect. I think I just gotta go for the Protect at this point. Do I have things to beat? Can I beat Chestnut if I need to at this point? I'm gonna Protect. I need this thing at as much health as possible. If he happens to be the Swords Dance Chomp, then just kudos to him. I could Hyper Voice though. I really could Hyper Voice. I don't want to blow this. I don't want to mess this up. I'm assuming he's like a Choice Scarf Jolly Garchomp, which is very close whether he's going to kill me or not. I think I need to go for the Protect here just to be safe. He hasn't even seen Protect yet anyway. I'm going to go for the Protect to make sure I get my Wish off. I need this Sylveon to be as high of health as possible, and then I'm going to make the switch after this. So we'll see what he went for. He is going to go for the Poison Jab, so it does get Poison Jab. For some reason, I didn't realize that he actually did, but that's fine. I get my health back here. Why did I not know that Garchomp got Poison Jab? I don't know why I didn't realize that, but that's okay. I'm gonna make the switch into my Aggron here, I think, or into Herbert. Oh, do I want to go into Herbert yet? No, I'm trying to think of what could put the most pressure on him here. He might predict me to switch. I definitely could take a Poison Jab though on my Sylveon here. I can easily take a Poison Jab, and I can potentially knock him out with Hyper Voice. The thing is, I need Sylveon to beat the Chestnut. That's what I really need. I can go to Herbert, potentially just fire off some Scald Burns on the Chestnut, because I don't really lose much by doing that. Because if I burn the Chestnut, we're in good shape. I'm going to go to Herbert here. He might predict that, but I want to keep my Sylveon at as high of health as possible, because it is so incredibly crucial for me to be able to beat his Chestnut at this point in the match. So Herbert comes in. I'm going to find out whether he's Scarfed or not. He's going to go for the Poison Jab again. This is going to do pretty much zero. You can see it does very, very little. He's not going to get a poison or anything, so that's fine with me. Now, I think my play here is as much... I think I double, actually. I think I'm going to double back into Sylveon. Because if he's locked into this thing, he's going to have to switch. So I think I just double into Sylveon here. He might actually just make the play and go into Heliolisk to sack it at this point. So I think I'm going to double into Sylveon. I think it's a risky play, but I think it's the right play. And I'm going to go with my gut. My gut says go into Sylveon here. He switches. I think he's Scarf Chomp. So if he goes into Chestnut, that's great. He goes into El Guapo, which is the Chestnut, so we do predict that perfectly. And Sylveon comes in, and Sylveon's killing something. Sylveon is killing something. And he's probably just going to Death Fodder off his Heliolisk at this point. I'll just be completely honest. I'm actually very much so expecting the Heliolisk to come in at this point. It's not worth me risking anything by going for the Wish. My play is most certainly to Hyper Voice here. I really want to Wish, predicting the Heliolisk. I really do. That makes the absolute most sense. In fact, I'm like 99% sure that that's what he's going to do. I should Wish, shouldn't I? No, you know what? We are in control here. We are in a lot of control here. There is no reason for us to mess with this right now. There's no reason for us to mess around right now. I think our play is to Hyper Voice. Because it's not like Garchomp comes in and kills me anyway, you know what I mean? I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice here. I know the Heliolisk. He's going to go for the Super Fang, so he's going to outspeed us. He is going to go for the Super Fang here, which is obviously going to knock us down to half. So great play on his part. I'm glad I attacked. We actually don't kill him, though. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So he's going to weaken us all the way down, but I don't believe he has a move that can kill us in one hit from this range. And I think my play here is now to Hyper Voice again, because if he's got Super Fang, he could have, would his last move be Poison Jab on his Chestnut? Not on a Super Fang Chestnut, dude. Hammer Arm doesn't do much. Wood Hammer is going to do, I think I'm going to live it either way. I really don't see him going for a Poison Jab here. I just don't see that. I can Wish. I'm going to Wish. He's going to Leech Seed, so he makes the right play by going for the Leech Seed here. But I have a Wish, so I'm getting a Wish back. I don't care. I get to just click Hyper Voice now. You can seed me all day. I'm going to keep clicking Hyper Voice now. Because now something dies. And I might be seeded, which means I'm going to have to switch. But I put a lot of pressure on this Chestnut. We weakened it to the point where he is going to go down here to a couple other Pokemon. Like he's more susceptible to go down from something else. So I do think Wish probably was the best play there. I could have killed him, but we can kill him on this turn. So I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice. I know I can live any hit. If he's got the Wood Hammer, he might knock us out. But he's got the Spiky Shield, so he really wants to try to get as much health as he can. Super Fang, Spiky Shield, Leech Seed, that's what we've seen. I'm going to get my health back, though, with the Wish now. So now I'm pretty sure that I can kill him. Based on the damage from before, I believe that a Hyper Voice will knock him out at this range. I don't think there's any way he's living it. We know he's leftovers. Let me just calculate real quick. I don't really remember the damage last time, how much it was. But if he's like, yeah, I mean, if he's... He's gonna get all that health back. I think we're gonna I think it's gonna be close, but I think we knock him out here. If he's fully HP and specially defense invested, he could potentially live it. He's gonna go over the Super Fang again, but this should knock him out. This should be enough. This should be enough to knock him out. And it does. Sylveon, you legend. We are just left with Garchomp. Sylveon kills Chestnut with Hyper Voice. And it is down to Sylveon versus Garchomp. Helios dies on entry. I just need to beat Garchomp now. That's all I need to do. He's gonna go into Gallows. So his play now is to likely just go for a move, try to kill me. He could go for Earthquake here. I'm gonna go to Herbert. There's really no reason for me to overpredict. I want to get rid of those Leech Seeds. I'm gonna go into Herbert here. I'm not clicking Scald either in case he's Water Absorb on his Heliolisk, just in case. I don't think he is, but I don't want to take a chance. He can't Poison Jab here. He's gonna go for the EQ. Herbert doesn't care about your EQ. Herbert doesn't care about your EQ. Herbert's taking that EQ like a champion. So he's got EQ, and it doesn't really matter. My play here is to just go for the, I mean, Scald is probably the best play, but Earthquake is what's gonna hit him the hardest, in all honesty, and I just don't want to chance the, I feel confident in the fact that he's Scarf Chomp. I'm gonna go for the Earthquake. It is the hardest hitting move I have, and I just don't want to let him go into Heliolisk and get some sort of like recovery or something like that. So he's gonna go for the Earthquake here. I'm gonna go for my own Earthquake, which will, of course, weaken him quite a bit. I'm actually going to make a play now and actually go into my Salamence. I'm going to save Herbert as death fodder potentially. I know that might sound kind of weird, but I feel really confident in the fact that this thing is locked into this. And, well, you know what though? No, there's no advantage for me to do that. I should just let Herbert die here. He went for Earthquake. He's not going to lock himself in Outrage. He can't lock himself in Outrage. He just can't. It would just be so dumb to lose Salamence for no reason. I'm going to let Herbert go down. I have no reason to save him. He's at such low health at this point. He's going to Earthquake me again. I could have made the switch into Salamence. I could have easily made that prediction. It just was not worth it. Just was not worth it to me. So now I'm going to go into my Salamence. And yeah, I'm going to get the Intimidate off on him. We're going to play this very, very carefully here. He's going to be forced to go into his Heliolisk now. He doesn't know what kind of Salamence I am. He should be forced to go into Helios. I get my Intimidate off, and let me just make a note that Garchomp killed Quagsire with EQ. I'm just gonna Dragon Claw. That's my play. I think he's going into Heliolisk though. I'm just gonna Dragon Claw. He is gonna go to Heliolisk, so Heliolisk dies to Stealth Rocks. Now, we're in very, very good control here. The one thing that could potentially like mess us up entirely is if he's not Scarf Garchomp and he can switch his moves. That becomes the issue. But what I'm going to do now to make sure that we're in very good, comfortable situation is I'm going to make sure I switch out Salamence and fodder off Jolteon. Then I'm going to make the switch back into Salamence to intimidate this this Garchomp here. And then after that, I will bring in my Sylveon. So we're going to sacrifice our Jolteon off here, as there's really no reason to keep it alive. Yes, I'm going to sacrifice our Jolteon here. There's really no reason to keep it alive at this point in time. Not with him sitting the way he is. If he's SD Chomp and not Scarf Chomp, we just made the biggest like mistake in the world. But everything tells me that he's Scarf Chomp. Everything about this thing is Scarf Chomp. That's what he brought last time. He never sent it in. He really likes Scarf Chomp. So I'm gonna go into Tesla here. He can't EQ me, so that's kind of cool. He's probably just gonna Poison Jab. Yeah, he has to Poison Jab. So Garchomp, that's definitely gonna kill. Kills Tesla with Poison Jab. I believe that Salamence versus Garchomp, I can live. He had to Poison Jab, but I still have Aggron. I don't know what that was about, but after the Intimidate, I could probably live a Poison Jab. It's gonna be close though. I could definitely live a Poison Jab easy. I'm gonna go into Salamence here. I want to find out if he's Scarfed or not. And I want to get the Intimidate off. That's really the important thing, is getting the Intimidate off, really. With that Intimidate, I don't believe he can kill my Aggron in one hit. And my Dragon Claw does kill him from here, so I'm going to go for the Dragon Claw. He goes for the Poison Jab. I think we got this, baby. I'm living. He gets the poison. Does not matter. I'm going to fire off a Dragon Claw here. This should knock him out. He's at about 50%. unless he's got bulk invested. Solomon's comes through, and we are going to the championship, baby. Let's go! Let's freaking go. Solomon's kills Garchomp with D-Claw, and that is it. We are going to take down the Atlanta Hawluchas. We are going to another championship. If you do not know, spoilers for the UCL, guys. Spoilers, man. I got to tell you, we won the UCL Little Cup match. So we are going to 4 championships in a row. 4 in a row, baby. Let's go. St. Louis Rampardos, baby. Let's freaking go. We are head smashing our opponents to victory. We are turning up and we are winning this championship next week. If you are turned up, my Rampardos fans, I want you guys to head smash that like button like you never head smashed it before. Let's go, baby. That is what I'm talking about. Captain Victini putting in the work. I am super duper hyped. Fizzy Stardust is an amazing, amazing battler, guys. So please go show him some love and turn up for your head smashing Rampardos, baby. 4 championships in a row. Let's win them now. Let's win them this time. This is our time to win them. Let's go, baby. Let's freaking go. That's gonna be it for me, guys. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.